Hello students, welcome to Science Tutorial. Once again I have come with a new video. Before starting the video, I have a small request. Please subscribe my channel, do like and share. So let's come to the topic, what we will discuss today. Today we have selected class 7th, chapter number 1 and the chapter name is Nutrition in Plants. First we recall some memories whatever we learned in 6th standard. We already knew that components of food or elements of food. So what are the elements or what are the components we can find in a food? Food mainly consists carbohydrate, protein, fats, vitamins and minerals. So these are the 5 components we can see in a food. So carbohydrate rich food, one example is rice. Protein rich food, example different types of pulses. What are that? Like moong dal, urad dal. These are the protein rich food. Next, fats rich food. There are so many, but then also we can tell ghee is fat rich food. Okay. Then vitamins and minerals. These two are also can find in different types of vegetables. What are the there are so many vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E and vitamin K. So these are the vitamins. So where we can find this vitamin? We can find in vegetables. For example, carrot are rich in vitamin A. Okay. Then minerals. What are the minerals? Like calcium, potassium, sodium. Okay. So these are the minerals that are necessary for our body. So where we can find this one? These are also we can find in vegetables and any other food we can find that minerals. So food mainly consists 5 type of components. What are that? Carbohydrate, protein, fats and vitamins and minerals. So now we learn about the nutrients. What are nutrients? Substances or components that are carbohydrate, protein, fats, vitamins and minerals needed to keep a living things alive and help it to grow. So we already knew that foods that consist of some components. What are that? Carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamins and minerals. So these components are the nutrients. These are helpful for a living things to alive and help it to grow. Now we learn about the nutrition. What is the nutrition? A process by which an organism gets the nutrients needed for its growth and development. So we know that some components are present in a food that are carbohydrate, protein, fats and minerals. So these are called nutrients. So these nutrients is helpful for our living things to grow and its development. So by which process these nutrients are absorbing in a body and helping to grow and helping for its development, this process is called as nutrition. Basically, nutrition, that mode of nutrition are 2 types. What are that? One is autotrophic, another one is heterotrophic. So by these 2 modes, an organism can get their nutrition. First we learn about the autotrophic nutrition. So if we split the word, then we will get auto plus trophos. Photo means self and tropos means nourishment. So here only we are getting, so autotrophic nutrition is the kind of nutrition where a living organism makes its own food using simple substances that it gets from its environment. So autotrophic nutrition means the organism can prepare their own food by using some simple substances which are getting from the environment, and that organism which exhibits this type of nutrition, these are called autotrophs. Example, all green plants. So all green plants are able to prepare their own food by absorbing some simple substances that are available in the environment. Now we'll learn the second mode of nutrition, that is heterotrophic nutrition. In the same way, you split the word hetero plus trophos. Hetero means other and trophos means nourishment. So heterotrophic nutrition is a kind of nutrition where a living organism takes food from other organisms. That means heterotrophic those are showing that heterotrophic nutrition, they can't prepare their own food. They are taking from the autotroph. Autotroph means they can make their own food. And the organisms exhibit this type of nutrition are called heterotrophs. That mode of nutrition is called heterotrophic nutrition, and those organisms exhibit this type of nutrition, these organisms are called heterotrophs. Most of animals and some plants get food from green plants. So we know that green plants, they can make their own food. So except green plant, most of the animals and those are not green plants, that green substances are not present, they also can't prepare their own food. So these are the heterotrophs. Now one new thing we learn that is very interesting, you see, photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? Food making process in plants. So we know that autotrophs can make their own food, and that green plants, they can prepare their own food. So this food making process is called photosynthesis. How we split the word like auto plus trophic, that means autotrophic. In the same way, if you split the photosynthesis, we will get two words. What are that? Photo plus synthesis. Now we learn that what do you mean by photo? Where photo means light and synthesis means to produce. Photo means light and synthesis means to produce. So photosynthesis is a process by which green plants prepare their own food using carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and the chlorophyll. Okay, so photosynthesis is nothing but a process, food making process, by which a green plant prepare their own food by absorbing some simple substances that are present in the environment. What are the simple substances? That are carbon dioxide, water, sunlight, and these are getting from the environment, and chlorophyll, these are present in that green plant only. That green pigment, this is called chlorophyll. So if we see the equation, what are that? Carbon dioxide plus water that are getting from the environment. So what is needed? Sunlight. This also getting from the environment, and chlorophyll, which is already present in a green plant. Okay. What after reaction, what we are getting? Glucose plus oxygen plus water. So by photosynthesis, we are getting glucose plus oxygen plus water. Oxygen that releasing to the environment, that we are inhaling, that oxygen is getting from the photosynthesis. And glucose is a type of a carbohydrate that is storing into the plant body, which we are using, we animal and we and animals both are using after the photosynthesis. That glucose is storing in the plant body, after that we are getting from the plant body, and water also getting from the photosynthesis. Next, one question: how plants absorb raw material that require for photosynthesis? So we know that autotrophs, they are getting the simple substances from the environment. So we know plants are the autotrophs, and the food making process is called photosynthesis. So for photosynthesis, what are the raw materials? That are carbon dioxide, water and sunlight. How plants are absorbing these raw materials, that we learn in this topic. What are how they are absorbing? Carbon dioxide is taken through stomata. Carbon dioxide is taken through stomata. So one new word we got, that is the stomata. So stomata is nothing but like when we are entering in a house, we are entering by opening the door. So stomata is also like this type of door which are present in the leaves. In this point you just remember stomata is present in the leaves of a plant. After that I will discuss what is stomata. You just remember stomata are the door or the passage by through that stomata carbon dioxide is entering inside the leaves. Okay, then water absorbed from the soil by roots and transported to the leaves through the stem by pipe-like structure called xylem. So one more word we are getting here, xylem. So water are absorbing from the soil through the roots. Okay, so roots, they are absorbing the water, but it has to be sent to the leaves where that photosynthesis is happening. Okay, so how it will go from the root to leaves? In plant body also there are some pipe-like structure. Okay, this pipe-like structure are called the xylem. Through the xylem, plant can send the absorbed water from root to the leaves. Then chlorophyll. We know that chlorophyll are the green substances that are found in leaves, and that chlorophyll traps the energy from the sunlight that fall on it. So for photosynthesis sunlight is also necessary. So how the sunlight is absorbing? We know that chlorophyll are green substances or green pigment that are present in the leaves. That chlorophyll absorbing the sunlight. Okay, this trapped energy is used to convert carbon dioxide into oxygen and simple sugar and glucose. So why plants need that sun energy or solar energy? To produce food, and that solar energy convert carbon dioxide into oxygen, carbon dioxide converted into oxygen and simple sugar called the glucose. So basically the energy are getting from the sunlight which are absorbed through the chlorophyll. What is chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is nothing but the green pigments which are present in the leaves. Next we will learn about cell. One new word, cell. Before going to that, I will give some example, then it will be easy to understand what is cell. So first of all, you see here, this is a wall. How the wall is made? Here we can see the bricks are placed one by one. Okay, and the bricks are like room, single room. So here without the bricks, that wall cannot be stand. So bricks are the main thing of this wall. That is the fundamental thing. So fundamental means the basic or essential things. Without that, that main thing cannot be stand. Here the basic things are that bricks. Okay, and that bricks you can see, these are the small room like structure, and these are complete on its structure. Okay, so in the same way, in our body also we have this brick like structure or that room like structure. These are called cell, and these in our body these cells are complete on its own. So what is the definition of a cell? An auto self-replicating structure that are the structural and functional and biological unit of all living organisms. So cells are the structural, functional and biological unit of all living organisms. So here in this picture you see that if I ask you what are the structural and functional unit of this world, the answer will be bricks. If we ask what are the structural and functional unit of our body of all living organisms, the answer will be cell. Here you can see these are the cell, a group of cells. The same thing here you can see the bricks. In the same way here also the small room like structure, this single small room like structure are called cell, and inside the cell you can see some dot like. These are actually, this is the liquid form of the cell. This is called cytoplasm, and outer structure that is called cell membrane, and inside one spherical structure you can see, this is called the nucleus. Now see structural parts of a cell. So cell is enclosed by a thin outer boundary called the cell membrane. So the outer structure of this single room like structure, this is the cell membrane of the, or this, that cell is outermost layer is called the cell membrane. Most cells have a distinct centrally located spherical structure called nucleus. Here this is the nucleus. Nucleus is surrounded by a jelly like substance called cytoplasm. So cytoplasm, that dot here it has been mentioned, these are the cytoplasm, these are the jelly like structure. Now we learn about the stomata. What are stomata? So stomata are the tiny pores present on the surface of leaves. So stomata are responsible for the absorbing the carbon dioxide. Okay, so stomata, what is the stomata? Stomata are the tiny pores present on the surface of leaves. Stomata, that is plural form, and singular it is stoma. Now we learn guard cell. What are the guard cells? The stomata are surrounded by guard cells that control their opening and closing. So in that picture down right side you can see these are the guard cell, that is kidney shaped cell. These two are the guard cells. So these are responsible for controlling their opening and closing. So these are mainly gates of this stomata. And the left side picture, this is a section of a leaf. Here you can see you can see the pores. These pores are called stomata, and that behind the stomata those two cells are present. These two cells are called guard cells. Now we learn about the significance of photosynthesis. Why photosynthesis is necessary, or what are the importance of photosynthesis, that we learn here. It is the primary source of all food on the earth. Obviously, as autotrophs can make their own food and heterotrophs can't make their own food. So photosynthesis is the process for the food making. So here we can see that it is the primary source of all food on the earth, and all living organisms are directly or indirectly dependent on the photosynthesis. So how directly and how indirectly, that we learn here little bit. See here, there are different types of food habit of the animals. Some are herbivores. Herbivores means The animals eat only green plants. These are called herbivores. Next one, carnivores. What are carnivores? The animals which are eat only the other herbivores. These are called carnivores. And last one is omnivores. The animals that can eat both that vegetables, that means herbs or plants, and other way they eat the other animals. So these are called omnivores. So see here, plants are eaten by herbivores, like plants are eaten by uh, goats. Goats are eaten by tigers. Okay, so here we can see tigers are carnivores and goats are the herbivores. So indirectly the tigers are dependent on the plant. How? Because tiger needs goats and goat needs plants for eating. So indirectly the tigers are dependent on the plants. That means the process of photosynthesis by which the plants are preparing their food. So as they are storing the food that are eaten by the goats, and goats are eaten by the tigers. So all the organisms, either they are herbivores, either they are carnivores or omnivores, all are dependent on this process, that are photosynthesis. It balances the amount of carbon dioxide and oxygen in the atmosphere by releasing oxygen and absorbing carbon dioxide. So for photosynthesis the raw materials are carbon dioxide. So plants are taking the carbon dioxide and after photosynthesis they are releasing the oxygen. So they are balancing that process. The photosynthesis is also balancing that carbon dioxide and oxygen ratio in the environment. It converts solar energy into chemical energy. How it is converting solar energy to chemical energy? See here, sunlight is trapping by the leaves, because in the leaves green substances that are called chlorophyll present, that absorb the solar energy. That means sunlight. So from the sunlight they are getting the solar energy, and after the photosynthesis we are getting sugar or carbohydrate, you can say, because sugar is the simplest form of the carbohydrate, getting carbohydrate, oxygen. So carbohydrate is a chemical structure, so that solar energy converted into the chemical energy. Then chemical energy stored in the form of sugar. Already I told that carbohydrate or the sugar is the chemical structure, so that are storing after the photosynthesis in the plant body. This is the diagram of a photosynthesis. You can see that sunlight is trapping here in the leaves. Okay, then stomata are present inside the leaves. So through the stomata carbon dioxide is also absorbing, and through the roots water and minerals both are absorbing, and it is sending to the leaves through the xylem. Here that food making process, that means the photosynthesis is happening. After the photosynthesis we are getting the carbohydrate, water and oxygen. Here we learn some question and answer. What are that? How do you prove that chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis? Or how do you prove that sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis? Or how do you prove that starch is produced by the process of photosynthesis? The three questions, we will do one experiment. From there only we will get that answer, three answers, by performing one experiment. What are that? For this experiment, what are the raw materials we need? That is one potted plant. This is the potted plant. In this picture you can see. Black tape, we need the black tape. Then alcohol, then iodine solution actually, then water, test tube, tripod stand and Bunsen burner. So see, this is a plant, green plant, potted plant. First you take a healthy green potted plant. After that take some black tape and that black tape paste in a healthy leaves in middle, and the two part is opening, but in middle you that put that black tape, and that potted plant placed in a sunny area. That means sunlight is that plant is getting proper sunlight. Okay, so we will keep that plant up to 3 days. Okay, then what we will do, after 3 days we will pluck this leaf which we covered by a black tape, that we pluck, and we will do the experiment. What we will do, see here. First, cover a plant, same thing I am just I told, again I am telling. Cover a part of a healthy leaf with black tape of a potted plant. Then use paper clip to fix the black tape on both sides, because otherwise it may fall down. That's why fix it with the paper clip. Then place the plant in open area and make sure that plant gets enough sunlight for 2-3 days. After 3 days, pluck the leaf and place it in a test tube containing the alcohol. So after plucking this leaf, we will take a test tube which are containing with alcohol. Okay, and that leaf will put inside the test tube. Then what we will do, place the test tube in a big size beaker of boiling water for 10 minutes. So why we are not putting directly to that Bunsen burner, that alcohol containing that leaf, because alcohol will burn if we take it take it into contact with the fire, it will burn. So that's why what we are doing here, we are taking a big size beaker, and that is containing with water, and that water is already boiling. So there we are putting the test tube which are containing with that leaves and with alcohol. After that, for 10 minutes, how long time? For 10 minutes. Then take the leaf out and wash it carefully and place on a table. Then place a few drops of iodine solution on the leaf. So we already done the experiment. So now the time for observation. So what we will observe? So alcohol remove the green color from the leaf. So when we are taking it out from that test tube and placing into a table, we can see that alcohol remove the green color. Okay, and after that we are putting the iodine solution. So we will see that leaf turn into the blue black except the cover part of the leaf. So when we are putting that iodine solution, we can see that except that cover part, remaining part turning black blue. Why it is turning black blue? So that is the conclusion. As we know, iodine change starch color into blue black. So we know iodine change the starch color into blue black. So it proved that only green part of the leaf contain chlorophyll, hence make starch. So where the green part is present, there only starch is manufacturing by the process of photosynthesis. So here we can conclude that starch is making by the process of photosynthesis, and only the green part only can produce that starch. Okay. The covered part of the leaf color did not change into blue black, though the plant exposed into the sunlight. So it proved that sunlight is also necessary for the photosynthesis. So as we know that what we cover that part of that particular leaf with a black tape, that part are also a green color, but as it did not get the sunlight, so that part did not turn into the black blue color. So we already learned about the autotrophs. That means that autotroph means the example are the green plants, and the process of that food making process is called the photosynthesis. And some experiment also we done, that why that chlorophyll is necessary, whether chlorophyll is necessary or not, that we learn. Now we learn about the other modes of nutrition in plants. So rather than the that autotrophic nutrition, plants also perform some other, shows also other types of nutrition. What are that we will see. Generally, green plants are autotrophs, but there are some plants which do not have the chlorophyll. So as we know, chlorophyll is basically main thing, or without the chlorophyll photosynthesis is not possible. So some plants do not have the chlorophyll, so they get nutrition from other green plants. These plants are called heterotrophs. So as some plants do not have the chlorophyll, they can't make their own food, so they also need the nutrition, so they are getting that nutrition from the other plants. So these type of plants which cannot produce their own food, these are called heterotrophs. So heterotroph plants are also different types. So heterotrophs are also different types. What are that? Parasitic plants, insectivorous plants, saprophytes, and symbiotic plants. So these 4 types of plant we can see in the environment. Now we learn about that: parasitic, insectivorous, saprophyte, and symbiotic plants. So now we learn about the parasitic plant. What are parasitic plants? Some plants used modified root that help them to get nutrients from another plant. These plants are called parasitic plants. So parasitic plants are basically modifying their roots for getting nutrition from other plants. A parasite, what is parasite? A parasite is an organism that gets its nutrition from another living organism. The organism from which parasite derived nutrient is known as host. So from the host, parasites are getting the nutrition. But here one thing is happening: hosts are getting harmed and parasites are getting benefited. So this is the negative impact you can see. So parasites are getting benefited, but hosts, they are getting harmed. Okay, so always remember that in parasitic nutrition, one will be getting benefited and another one will be getting harmed. Who will get the benefited? These are called the parasite, and who are getting harmed? These are called the host. From the host, parasites are getting the nutrients. For example, cascata, dodder, and mistletoe. These are the picture. This is the dodder plant. Here you can see the root like structure. These are the dodder plants. So these are the parasites, and this is also mistletoe. Okay. Now we learn about the insectivorous plant. By hearing the term, you can understand what is the meaning. Insectivorous. That vorous is related to eating, and insect, that means some plants are eating the insect. These are called the insectivorous plant. Okay. So some plants get some of their nutrition by trapping and digesting insects and some other small animals. These plants are called insectivorous plants. So insectivorous plants are nothing but the types of plant which are eating the insects. Okay. Generally, this type of plants have chlorophyll but consume insect for their nitrogen supply. So here you can see that this type of plants have their chlorophyll. Okay. But they need nitrogen too. So how they will get the nitrogen? Here one question can arise, that nitrogen is a gaseous substance. So as plants are absorbing the carbon dioxide, in the same way they can absorb the nitrogen, but it is not possible to absorb the nitrogen directly from the environment. So for that reason, some plants modified their leaves, okay, in such a way, so there some insect will come and sit and they will trap it and they will absorb it. So because of the nitrogen supply, that plants are eating, here you can say that eating that small insects, and small animals for their nitrogen supply. These type of plants have modified leaf structure by which they trap insects. I already told they basically using their leaves that are modified in like pitcher like structure or some structure. So when they will insect will come and will sit on their leaves, they will capture it. For example, Venus flytrap and pitcher plant. Okay, so here see pitcher plants has leaves that are modified to look like pitcher or large jug. That picture down left side you can see this is the pitcher plant and this is the leaf of the pitcher plant. So that leaf is modified like a pitcher and this is very attractive. So what insect will think that this is a very nice flower or some coloring something. So they will come and sit on it and then the that leaf will capture this insect. The pitcher has a liquid at the bottom of the pitcher. So when the insect will come inside and will think that this is the flower, will take the honey or nectar. So in that time, in the bottom, liquid like structure is there. So that will stick into that their legs. So insect cannot climb up outside. Okay. So the insect are then digested by the plant's digestive juice. So when they after that they will cover their leaf, okay, and they will digest by their digestive juice. This is the Venus flytrap. Here also you can see this is very looking like it's a like a flower. So insect will get attracted. So it is a flower. They will come and will try to absorb the nectar. So then they will close their leaves and they will digest that insect. Now we learn about the saprophytes. Organisms that get their nutrients from dead and decaying materials are called saprophytes. Next, they use digestive juice to break down the materials into simple one that can be absorbed. This type of nutrition is called saprophytic nutrition. So here saprophytes are some organisms that are getting the nutrients from decaying or dead materials. So what they are doing, they are using their digestive juice to break down the materials. Okay, the decaying materials that are break down by their digestive juice. Okay, and when it is breaking down into a simple substance that can be absorbed, and this type of nutrition are called saprophytic nutrition. For example, mushroom is an example of saprophyte. Now symbiotic plants, a relationship between two organisms that benefits both called symbiosis. So symbiosis means a good relationship. In case of parasitic plants, I told you parasitic nutrition means one will get benefited, they are the parasite, and another one will get hurt, they are the host. But in case of symbiotic plants, here they are also dependent with each other, but they will live together and they will make a good relationship. That means they both will get benefited. Okay, this is called symbiosis. So the relationship is called symbiotic relationship. The organisms are involved in a symbiotic relationship is called symbionts. So here the both the organism in case of symbiotic relationship, these are called symbionts. Okay. For example, lichen is made of an alga and fungus that live together. The alga makes food while fungus absorb water and minerals. Actually, the alga come from the algae. Okay, algae is plural form, alga is singular form, and the fungus. So here these are the lichen picture. So lichen is a symbiotic relationship where one alga and one fungus is present, and alga, we know algae, in case of algae we can see the chlorophyll. So they are the making the food. So they also can make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. That food is they are giving to the fungus, while they cannot absorb the water and minerals. That work is done by the fungus. Okay, so here both are benefiting. Okay, that both symbionts are benefiting. Alga is also benefiting from the fungus by getting the water and minerals, and fungus are also getting benefited by getting that nutrient which are prepared by the alga by the process of photosynthesis. So here both are getting benefited. This type of nutrition is called symbiotic relationship. Now we have come into the last topic in this chapter. What are that? How nutrients are replenished in the soil, that we will learn here. So we know soil containing water and minerals. Okay, that water and minerals are absorbed by the green plants through their roots. Okay, so that green plants are producing that food by the process of photosynthesis. That they store food are eaten by the consumer. What are the consumer? Okay, they are mainly animals. They are consuming the producer. Okay, so when the consumer dying, they are also decomposing by bacteria and fungi. These are the saprophytes. They are the decomposer. Okay, or either you can see that producer directly also can die. They are also getting decomposed by bacteria and fungi. We know bacteria and fungi, these are called the saprophyte. They are using their digestive juice for breaking down the dead organism or decaying organism, and after breaking down they are making it into a simple substances. Okay, that are mixed into the soil again. The soil contain water, minerals. Okay, so that are absorbing through the green plant. So in this way the nutrients are replenished into the soil. So what we learn in that cycle, I have summarized this, that you see plant absorb nutrients from the soil for their growth. These plants either directly die as a natural process or eaten by the consumer. Then consumer also died. Died organism decomposed by decomposer into simple substances. These simple substances mixed into the soil and can again be absorbed as the nutrients by the plant. In this way, the nutrients are replenished into the soil. So this was the full chapter of nutrition in plants. I hope you understood clearly. So we'll meet with you soon with a new video. Till then, bye bye.